so good to meet
Thanks.
you virtually. Thank you
Same
so
here,
much.
same here.
Thank you so much for your time.
No, pleasure.
So I am assuming that with Rashmi Rocket, we are going to see yet another scintillating performance coming from you, right? And that too a very serious role, because you're portraying a role of a lawyer, right? So would you like to talk about some R&D work that you did for this particular role, and what was the most challenging part about this project?
See, honestly, I really wanted to do a lot of R&D, but I couldn't because the courts were shut, so I couldn't go to any of the court sessions and see how the lawyers actually handle the proceedings. But what I understood from talking to my lawyer friends is that it's also a very performative space where they actually read the case beforehand and they rehearse it, they shadow practice it, they mirror practice it, and then finally present it in front of the magistrate or the judge or the jury. So the cue I took from that is that I need to rehearse very well, because once I'm in court, I can't improvise a lot. I need to stick to some of the lines, and I need to stick to some of the aspects of the case. So yeah, I mean, I think the most challenging part was remembering the lines, because that's something which you go completely out of practice, because you have developed the skill of improvising on set and not reading it too many times, and being spontaneous about the lines and forgetting about the lines. That's how we actors are being brought up in the last decade. So so I think that was the most challenging part, that you have to rehearse. You need to know exactly where your hand is moving. And I tried to add a little body language to the character, because I also realized that all lawyers, in fact, some of the famous lawyers, they also are known for a particular body language trait of theirs. So these are the minor things which actually helps the character stand out, or make that character unique than probably other characters which are similar. And yes, lawyers, I mean, we have seen lawyers so many times in films and shows, and in TV series. So we have this one image of a lawyer. So it was also to break that image, but also to go with that, because we are making a film which is for the masses. So they need to relate to it as a aspirational lawyer also, but also to try and keep him as close to the reality as possible. So yeah.
Course. And Taapsee recently said, like in one of the interviews, she said that the most she got emotional while shooting one of the sequences in this particular project, and she was referring a locker room sequence. So for you as an actor, was there ever a moment when you also felt emotional, or maybe a little out of track while shooting certain scenes? Was there ever a time for you?
I felt angry. That's the only emotion I was dealing with, because when you read up about such a law which restrains some of our best athletes to perform and to break their confidence, and when we realize that we're a part of that system, we're a part of that society which is letting it happen, and then you feel immense anger within you towards the system, or towards this common practice which is relevant still internationally. So yeah, I think that's the only emotion which I felt, though I had to carve it down, because Ishit doesn't necessarily lose his cool often inside the courtroom. So when he does, he really is not doing it as a lawyer. He's doing it more as Ishit, the human he is. So yeah, that's the, I think, yeah, there was one scene towards the climax when I really got angry with the whole setup and whole things, and then I just left my character. I mean, that's what I tried to. Let's see how it works out in the film. I actually left my character, which I was pulling off in the court, and I just started talking like how Ishit would talk, or how probably I will talk.
Okay. And Abhishek, if we look at your filmography, you have done some great projects, and it's not just to do with serious projects. Like we have seen your wonderful comic timing as well. Is this intentional for you to do all the serious projects right now? Because I have been reading some of your interviews where you said that you want to get rid of that comic actor persona. So is it intentional for you right now?
Yeah, what I understood about the film industry and the common notion, which is amongst the audience also in our country, is that when an actor does something particularly well and that becomes successful, then that actor is, probably,
yeah.
I mean, stereotype is again a word, but probably they're put in a box. where they can only be doing those kind of parts, or probably people will expect you to do those parts. And as an actor, I think that's one thing which I've always learned, is that you're supposed to do everything properly, and you just need to have all those skills intact. So I want to use that, I want to use my training, I want to use my skills. And that's why I wanted to probably widen the horizon, where, I mean, I wanted to tell the filmmakers and the audience and, everyone that, okay, don't just categorize me as this funny boy. I can play a negative, I can play a positive, I can play a romantic, I can play different parts. And that's what I've been doing. I've been trying and I've been exploring. And but that doesn't mean that I'm not going to do comedies. In fact, next year I have like a lot of comedy release. In fact, from here on, I have two releases which are going to be out and out comedy. So yeah, and that's again a forte. I mean, I would like to consider that my sense of humor is good even in real life.
Absolutely.
So
Yeah.
so I would like to use that. I mean, I would like to use that skill. So yeah.
But are you happy with the way your career has moved after Patal Lok? Because we all love Hathauda Tyagi, right? So are you happy with the kind of feedbacks you are getting after that particular series?
I've been happy since three. I've been happy since the first film I've ever did, and I've been always happy with whatever work I do, no matter how small or big it is. And all the kind of appreciation and love which you expect and which you anticipate from the audience, I've got that for the most smallest of my parts, and even the most biggest of the parts. So gratitude, that's the only thing I have towards everyone who appreciate my work, because that's why I'm doing it. Probably I'm doing it to feel that love, and to accept that love, that to accept the acceptance of an actor. So, but yes, I mean, of course, Patal Lok completely changed the way probably people perceived me, and they started believing that, okay, this guy can take things on his shoulder. And and I didn't really have a lot of scenes in Patal Lok. I think I had 8 to 9 scenes in a 9 episode show. So that's relatively less than usual primary characters. So I was happy that people actually saw this guy can actually hold his own ground, and we can create stories around him, which is happening finally. So I'm happy about that. Yeah.
But do you want to call yourself a settled actor now, especially after 2020?
Uh, at the moment, I would like to call myself a busy actor. I mean, I think the subtle actor is I don't think so. I don't think it's going to happen till a long, long time. I need to grow old with that fact. Probably when I'm older, then I would be, telling you that, yes, now I'm settled as an actor, because I don't have doubts.
Yeah.
I don't have, questions about my own performances, or I don't have so the thing is that I'm overcritical about myself, about my performances. Yeah, and I really want to do much better than what I'm doing today. So no, I'm not settled. I think I have a long way to go, and I'm going to work towards it, and keep exploring. And the day I feel that, yes, now I feel the strength to actually get on a set without being very nervous about going on set, that's the day I think I'm going to call myself a settled actor. पर अभी भी मैं बहुत ज़्यादा nervous होता हूँ. Before any shoot, I'm always shivering, and I have my butterflies in my stomach, and I don't think it will go ever. But still, let's see. Let's hope.
Do you think that you will be as busy as you are right now once the theater opens up? Like, do you think you will get an equal amount of projects that you're getting right now on OTT platforms?
TVF, the viral fever, the an OTT, the first OTT channel we ever had was TVF, and in India, and they came up with a show called Pictures, and I did one scene there, and that one dialogue became famous or viral, and those days, and it was like wildfire everywhere. So that gave me the confidence that I can act. So today I'm an actor because of that one performance, that one scene, that one dialogue, which gave me the confidence that, yes, I can act, people can connect with me. And that's what an actor is always looking for, that whatever you do, will the audience relate to that? Will it be as relatable as you're thinking in your head? So that gave me the confidence. But I have actually started my career with big screen. So Stree, Ringal, Bala, they're all like big films, successful films, released in within a period of 1.5 years. I'm coming up with Bhedia next year, which is again a big film. So no, I'm not insecure about theaters opening because I know that I have already acted in, on that setup, and I know that people like me and filmmakers would love to cast me in the bigger formats also. But yeah, I don't. What's going to be difficult is that the kind of roles you get offered in OTT is too irresistible,
Yes.
and they're
Yeah.
quite juicy, they're quite interesting, they're quite probably more laid out than a 2-hour film. So yeah, I mean the problem is going to be whether how many films I'm going to do, or how many those offers will seem more interesting than the ones which I'm getting in OTT.
Okay, you are also a casting director, which means that you have an eye for detail, right? You have an eye for talent, right? So, was there ever a moment that particular aspect helped you in fine tuning yourself as an actor? Because वो होता है ना कि अगर आप किसी actor को देखते हो सामने, and so you aspire that want to be like him, like her. So
Jaideep Ahlawat, I think Jaideep Ahlawat is a very old friend of mine, and not only a friend, he's almost like senior to me, so
yes,
I consider him like an elder brother. And I auditioned him in the first film which I was casting theatre Once Upon a Time in Mumbai, and he gave the audition for the character which Randeep Hooda played later. But the way he gave that audition, and the way he was so good in that performance. And from there on, I kept meeting him in different auditions. We used to keep calling him and auditioning him, and I used to always think that he is special, and one of these acting, this is the kind of actor I want to be, or this is the kind of that's very special when you see those performances, like the way he plays. It's very difficult to play that tone, and it's very difficult to keep yourself imploding inside, but also not showing it out. So all of that, that craft really showed. So yeah, I always wanted to be an actor like him, and how luck would play a part, and I was actually playing the antagonist where he was the protagonist. So it was almost like a universe playing tricks with you.
and final question: what are the biggest takeaways of Rashmi Rocket for you? Like, I mean, anything that you want to suggest?
Now, the biggest takeaway is that resilience. Yeah, I mean, I think half the times we stop ourselves to fight for ourselves. I think we fight. It's easier to fight for others, but हम अपने लिए शायद थोड़ा कम लड़ते हैं. And that courage, I think, which Rashmi showed in the film, that gave me a lot of courage to probably voice out my opinions in life. And yeah, I mean, if there's something which I think is inappropriate, or which diminishes the fact that I'm also a human, so probably I'll raise my voice more often. Then yeah.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much, Abhishek. It was a pleasure talking to
Thank
you,
you.
and all the very
Same
best for
here.
Rashmi Rocket.